From our earliest years, the Melbourne Cup has become the heart and soul of our nation.
All set for the Cup. Gates crash back, and they're off and racing to an almighty roar.
For many, it is 3 minutes of emotion that unites Australia like no other.
Set for his prince. Running on now was Brew. Further out, Calfstad way and Yippee-I-O. Second coming, 300 to go, led by a length.
For a chosen few, it is the journey of a lifetime.
Yippee-I-O. It's Brew going to the left with 150 left to go on the Cup. Brew 2 lengths in front now. He's drawing clear of Yippee-I-O and Brew down to the post.
Welcome to the world's greatest 2 miles. This week, the race that stops a nation will be felt around the world as the pursuit of the Golden Chalice reaches new heights.
Mate, it's unbelievable. I just won the Melbourne Cup.
The colour, the excitement, the passion.
And my beautiful wife and children home watching. I love you all, and we done it. Woo! Good on you, Gridley.
From the legends of the turf to the stars of the future. From the names on our lips to those who shall never be forgotten. Flemington on the first Tuesday in November is pure magic.
Finish. That is one of the great finishes in Melbourne Cup history.
Welcome to the 2001 Melbourne Cup Carnival.
Yes, the great race is only a couple of days away. It's another magnificent day here at Flemington. Hopefully it's going to be like that on Tuesday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Network 10's preview of the 2001 Tooheys New Melbourne Cup. Over the next hour, hopefully we'll be able to find you the winner, but it's going to be no easy task. And joining me, the panel from yesterday, still recovering. Jenny Chapman, Simon Marshall, John Letts, good morning.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning,
Good
Peter.
morning,
We copped a battering yesterday, didn't we?
Oh, did we?
Hard to find a winner.
Was it a day of questions or a day of answers? I think more questions than answers.
Oh, probably, Pete. But a great win there to Amalfi with Damien Oliver on board. He just got that horse right to the line on time, didn't he?
From a cup point of view, Simon, Universal Prince, the run just threw the cat amongst the pigeons.
Look, Peter, I thought he was very disappointing, Universal Prince, in respect that he didn't want to go early out of the gates, and he's done that a couple of times this time in, which queries, I don't know, Johnny,
Yes.
if he saw somewhere or might be internally, I'm not too sure about that, but he didn't hit the line well enough for me to have me money on him Melbourne Cup Day.
They did say he was lame yesterday after pulling up in the hind leg. Let's see, how hard was the track yesterday? You were out there on Banjo.
Yeah, I found the track quite good, Peter. Actually, I didn't think it was that hard, but I think if horses jarred up yesterday, they might have had a problem before they went out there. But I found the track good. You'd have walked it, Simon. You found it okay?
Yeah, no excuses. It was great. I mean, it was a perfect service. There seemed to be a little bit of on-pace biased, I suppose, on the day, Pete. But you look at Amalfi, he sat midfield and he was close enough at the top of the straight. Oh, look, you know, I don't think it was too hard for him yesterday.
Last night here at Flemington, they made the barrier draw after the running of the last race. It's all important in a Melbourne Cup, and of course, Chairman of Stewards, Mr. Des Gleeson, was officiating there with the marbles, and a few anxious connections standing around actually waiting for the marbles to come out. Now, Jen, what do you reckon the barrier draw told us about this lot for a start?
Well, I thought Persian Punch has drawn very nicely in barrier 11. He's likely to go forward from there. Sky Heights shouldn't worry him. He's going to go back.
Good draw for him, I think.
Yes, yeah. Universal Prince, well, who knows?
Simon, what about that lot?
Yeah, look, Mr. Prudence drawn beautifully in 2 for George there. Pasture Express has drawn a nice gate. Curator Storm, he's a horse that gets back over 24. He won the Mercedes-Benz, and, you know, I think they're not too bad.
John, may the horse be with you. Gate 10, nice gate for him because he's an on-pacer.
Lovely gate, and the horse travelled very well yesterday, Peter, in the run, and I'd give him a good chance in a race. And the other horse, Spirit of Westbury, Shane Dye, interesting, flying back from Hong Kong for one ride.
Yes.
Arrives, rides the horse, and leaves.
Well, hopefully we'll be talking to Shane Dye in our coverage of the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. Is he going to need an umbrella? Well, it looks like he might, unfortunately. Jen, have you got the wet weather outfit ready?
I've got a jacket, so I should be covered.
Yeah, well, I think they have said over the past couple of years, though, that that it's been going to be cloudy and a bit of rain, and we've been very lucky. So let's hope that their weather forecast is as accurate as our tips were yesterday. That means we'll all get sunstroke.
Well, we're thereabouts. Thank God for market price, Pete.
Yeah.
Early in the day.
Yeah, Simon, you actually saved us, didn't you?
Yes.
One winner all day and you tipped it.
Well done.
What about those latest odds now? Did you ever think that Big Pat would be favourite in the Melbourne Cup?
Never. No, I didn't. Look, he's been racing very well, Peter, but to be favourite in the Melbourne Cup, I wouldn't have picked that.
Universal Prince out to $11 now as we go over the page. And what do you think the value is there, Simon, amongst those horses?
Mr. Prudent's good value. He's a Sydney Cup winner at $21. Spirit of Recipe, yeah, not too bad. Geez, he's going well.
Let's see. I can't believe that Hill of Grace is $34.
Yeah, Pete, you made that comment earlier, and it's good odds. It was a good run yesterday, but oh, gee, some of these horses at the odds, they're going to really cut them down, though, if you get your favourite. Now the barrier draw's out. I think these might have even been done before the barrier draw, wouldn't they?
No, I don't think so. I think they would have been done after the barrier draw, and I think it just indicates just what an open race it is. Let's have a look at the runners now. First of all, Persian Punch, the grand old 9-year-old. Well, he came out here a couple of years ago, 3 years ago in fact, and ran a place behind Jezebel. And the facts and figures about him, well, he's trained by David Ellsworth. He's to be ridden by Richard Quinn, and we had a chat to Richard yesterday.
Yes, we did, and he's very happy with the horse. He only arrived in the night before, and he was able to ride him in his track work. Look, he's a nice, relaxed horse. He knows what it's all about. Peter, he's had a few starts over this distance. He's won 5 of them. He is a proven stayer, no doubt about it. He goes forward, and he's definitely a chance.
No 9-year-old has ever won the Melbourne Cup, but the good thing is Persian Punch doesn't know he's 9, and he doesn't know that no 9-year-old has won the Melbourne Cup. But the man who knows all about him is the trainer David Ellsworth. This morning at Sandown, he caught up with Mark Aston.
And what you were saying earlier, you're very, very confident.
It's difficult to be overconfident or very confident, if you like, about a Melbourne Cup. It's something we've all dreamed about and talked about, and we've seen the history of the race and the past winners. And to think or believe that you can actually join the elite members, it is exciting and takes a bit of getting on board, really. But it is a horse race, and we've a very good horse who's in the top of his form. And I think, personally, what beats him will win.
And you made the point too, and I was interested in this, that he's also very mentally fit at this stage. That was quite interesting to hear.
Yeah, he's a very strong horse mentally, and this is he's a product of what he's become is because of 6 consecutive seasons of racing internationally. He's run in France, he's run in Ireland, and here, of course, and at home. So, you know, he is a thorough professional, and he has a strong mind. Nothing phases him, and I guess we've got the best horse all round, but he's got to get to the winning post before the others.
And what would it mean to you as his trainer, David, to win the Cup?
I know, I thought about it, I've dreamt about it, and how one deals with these things, and with all due modesty, it wouldn't be the first big race I've won, but I think it would be something very special, and I'm looking forward to the experience.
Good luck. On behalf of everyone watching around Australia,
thank you.
We wish you all the very best.
David Ellsworth, the trainer of Persian Punch, with Mark Aston at Sandown. Let's move on to number 2, Sky Heights. This horse started favourite in the Melbourne Cup a couple of years ago. He was knocked from pillar to post. It affected him greatly, Simon, as a racehorse, but he's back in form again, and in a moment we're going to have a look at the Caulfield Cup run, and it was outstanding.
It was, Peter, and I was very happy that the horse has drawn wide in the Melbourne Cup, because as you saw in the Caulfield Cup, he's got room to move. He's got a very bad habit of missing the kick and starting off slow. Now, he's going to need that the long straight here at Flemington. You see him here at the Caulfield Cup. He looms up outside. That's ethereal inside him there. And she had to pull on the weights on him this day. Not too many were keen about Sky Heights this day, Peter, but he proved himself a very good Melbourne Cup chance, because as you can see here, with the mare on the inside with the pull of the weights, it didn't look like Sky Heights was ever going to get her, but right on the line, he was doing better, if anything. And that's a great guide. And look, he's drawn wide Melbourne Cup day, and he's going to fit across. He's not going to get smashed or crunched like he did 2 years ago. So
exactly.
That's a good pointer.
Yeah, he's a quality racehorse. Another quality racehorse is Universal Prince. He didn't show it yesterday, though, and of course he's trained by Bede Murray. Justin Sheehan will ride him if the horse does start. We're presuming that he does, but something may happen in the next 48 hours. Let's see, we're going to take a look at the McKinnon Stakes, and I said to Jen in the run, well, if this horse wins from here, he'll be evens in the Melbourne Cup. It was impossible.
I made the same comment, Pete.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at it and you can talk us through. Did he make up any ground? I reckon on reflection on the replay, he did make up some ground, but not enough.
No, he never made up enough ground, Peter, I don't think, to win the Melbourne Cup, because the leader was going along, just high-balling it nicely in the lead, and Scotty Seamer said that he just kept the speed on just nicely all the way. Now, if he kept it on all the way, that tells you then that the horses up the front had to weaken a little bit. So that made his run. He's starting to look like he's going home there, but Pete, some of those horses were just paddling to the line, and I do find it hard to put him into the Melbourne Cup.
Someone was suggesting to me that he ran his last 600 metres in 32.5 seconds yesterday. I can't believe that.
That's hard to believe, but there is no doubt that he did make some ground.
He did make ground, late ground.
He was absolutely entitled to, wasn't he?
Yeah, the speed was on, Chen. Look, he did no work early, and I mean, 6 lengths last over 2,000.
And Simon,
you know,
the time before, when he ran second to Sunderland, he was nearly back that far, and he flew home at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Got beat a length, didn't he?
Let's hear what Bede Murray had to say at the races yesterday after all of the emotion had calmed down after the race. Mark Aston caught up with him.
Perhaps. What's the situation at the moment with Universal Prince?
He's accepting for the Cup, and it'll be determined Monday whether he runs or whether he doesn't.
There was some suggestion earlier when we spoke to you that he may have been lame. That's obviously not the case.
Yes, the vets have found him to be lame in his offside back, but he's also struck his stifle. He's got skin off his stifle, which probably caused him to be lame and run like he did early in the race. So we just want to review those things and see how he comes up Monday.
And B, there was, look, just to clarify, we did, there was some suggestion that you and Justin did have words after the race. Probably an opportunity for you to clear that up now.
No,
I mean, we weren't trying to cause any problems between the two of you, but we did understand that was the case.
No, not at all.
So everything's fine between you and Justin?
Certainly.
And will Justin ride Universal Prince in the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday if he runs?
Yes, he will.
Bede Murray speaking to Mark Aston yesterday. I don't think there was any suggestion that it was an argument between the two, but everyone who saw it said there were terse words between them. Let's hope we see the real Universal Prince on Tuesday. We're going to the break now. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at some of the overseas raiders in the 2001 Tui's new Melbourne Cup. Peace and tranquility of Flemington on Sunday after 93,000 people were here to witness Amy Victoria Derby Day. Let's continue our look at the 2001 Tui's new Melbourne Cup. Caetano, the first of the, or the second of the overseas raiders, Jen, and this is a horse that is trained by Andreas Schutz. Johnny Murtagh, who won 12 Group 1 races, I think, last year, is a very capable horseman.
He is, no doubt about that, and he's ridden many places around the world, but I love the frequent flyer points that this horse has got. He has raced in so many places around the world.
And there he is in the Cox Plate, running sixth coming around the turn. You wouldn't expect him to be challenging those horses.
No, you wouldn't, Peter, and I've seen quite a lot of this horse. He is a very one-pace type of galloper. He'd need a lot to suit him in this race, and I just don't think he's going to have the quality to probably win it. I'd leave him there with a rough place chance, but that's about it.
Well, let's go on to the Godolphin horses, and the first of those, Simon, is Give the Slip. Richard Hills takes the ride for Saeed bin Saror, and the simple fact is we really don't know much about these horses.
Pete, he did win a race over 2,700 in the UK this season. Look, he's more or less regarded as a speed horse or a pace horse for Fantastic Light, one of the world's greatest horses running around. Hasn't got any 3,200 metre form, so it's a bit of a worry. I'm going to have to give him the slip, mate.
Yeah, well, that was him leading from Marion Bard, and Hatharana was the other horse they brought out here. And speaking of Marion Bard, let's have a look at the facts and figures surrounding him. And again, we're in the same boat, John Letts, with this horse. We know that he can stay. He's going to be ridden by Frankie Dettori, who's really dying to win a Melbourne Cup. He would love to finally break the duck out here.
Frankie Dettori is one of the most colourful jockeys, Peter, in the world, and you can just, the atmosphere and the emotion when he won a race here last year was just enormous out on the track.
On
and the crowd,
wasn't it?
It's just a minor race. He got more height than the Olympic Games and the pole vault.
He did, and it was fabulous just to turn around when he's come back to do the interview. He was just on top of the world, and for him to win a Melbourne Cup, you know how he jumps off the horse. I think he'll actually jump off it down at the 2001 back.
He'll probably jump on your back. Well,
more than likely.
As I said, we don't know a lot about these horses, so the man to find out about the horses, Give the Slip and Marion Bard, is the trainer, Saeed bin Saror. He spoke this morning with Mark Aston.
Saeed, First of all, give the slip.
Give the slip. He's a very nice horse. He won Group 3 this year, and we use him like a best maker for just flight, you know, in Europe, in England, and in Ireland. But you know, this time we try to give him a chance in big race. This horse, I think he's going to stay the distance, you know. And I'm happy with him. He worked good. He worked yesterday, 5 furlongs, like a blowout for the race. Good. He worked nice, and he's actually beautiful. He's a happy horse, and I'm happy with him.
And what about the open spaces of Flemington? Will that suit him?
Yeah, it will suit him. You know, the horse, it was before like a pacemaker, and always he leads. But this time he will be a different. I mean, he will run. I mean, like somewhat I saw, he looked a different horse when he was in England, Newmarket. He looked more relaxed than before. And you know, the jockey Richard Hills, he knows the horse very well. He rode him many times, and he can look after him in the race, keep him in good position.
And what about Marion Bard?
Marion Bard is doing very good. You know, he's a Group 2 horse this year. You know, 1 mile 6 furlongs, and you know, he finished also third in Irish Challenger Group 1. The horse, and I can say both of them really, they prefer to go on good soft ground, you know, but we have a chance, you know, to run a big race.
You've had a few cracks at it, haven't you? And second with Central Park, so you're getting close.
We come close, you know. I mean, I hope that day if we win it will be good. I mean, take the pressure really.
What would it mean to you?
It means really a lot. I mean, to win Melbourne Cup is really great for us, you know. We try for 3 years, but look, I mean, sometimes harder, you know, to win it. But, you know, I same what I said, I mean, you have to bring the horse, you have class, really, and to stay the distance.
Thanks for joining us on Network 10, and good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Saeed bin Saror, the trainer of Marion Bard, and give the slip in the Tooheys new Melbourne Cup. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be previewing more of the horses, including the Caulfield Cup winner, Ethereal. You're watching our special preview of the 2001 Melbourne Cup, live from Flemington.
Have you ever...
I know wherever you're watching around Australia, throughout New Zealand or the United States of America, you'll be looking forward to our great race as much as we are, the 2001 Tooheys new Melbourne Cup. And we're moving on to the beaten Cup favourite from last year, Jen, Carpstad Way, trained by Chris Wood, ridden by Nashra Willer. He had everything to suit him yesterday, track condition-wise, and I thought he was a bit disappointing.
Yes, I thought he probably had every chance there, Peter. You go back to his Underwood Stakes and the Turnbull.
Yeah.
They were both very good runs, but then he of course, did get the wet track at Caulfield in the Caulfield Cup. I think you can forgive him for that run, but this run is quite good behind Sunline here. You'll see him run on.
He's in the blue and pink colours, sort of in the middle of the field. Now, another run to watch for here, we've spoken about him, Universal Prince, but you'll see him flash into the picture in just a moment. And look at the way he's run home here, underneath the arrow. Look at the ground he's made up. That's the real Universal Prince.
Yes, that is. And
It
Carpstad
wasn't
Way
there
just
yesterday,
holding on
was it?
there.
No.
But Peter, I don't think he can win. I think we make too many excuses for this horse now. He hasn't won since March 2000. I'd give him a place chance, but I don't think I could give him a winning chance.
What about the grand old campaigner, Yippee-I-O, number 8, second in the Melbourne Cup last year, and of course he's such a wonderful racehorse. There you can see his recent performances. Simon, I just think he's a dead set 2-miler. He could go 4 laps, I reckon.
Pete, I've got him in my top 3. I think I've put him in for second, Yippee-I-O. Guaranteed to run the trip in the Melbourne Cup, as we'll see here on the replay. He's a Brisbane Cup winner. He's had 3 runs this time back, 4 runs this time back in, and I just think he's been trained to the minute by Alan Denham. Now, he's started off at 14, he ran 12th, not his distance, 18, he stepped over 1800, 2000, up to 24 in the Gold Cup.
Now, that is Celestial Show, by the way. We've got the arrow over to show that she was running on 2 at the end last year. But back to Yippee, yeah?
Yeah, back to Yippee. Have a look. He's got 54.5 kilos on his back. And look, he's jumping from a wide gate, barrier 22, Darren Beeman. He's going to go forward. He's going to get across. He's going to be in the first half, which you're going to be happy about this year in a weak Melbourne Cup. He's going to be a great chance.
Let's move on to number 9, and that is Freemason, one of the John Hawkes stable, and to be ridden by Darren Gauci. Thought he was probably a chance last year, John Letts. His run in the winning edge when Gauci took him to the front was very good, but he was very disappointing yesterday.
After
Got
that,
a mile back.
His form's dropped right off after the winning edge, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's hard to see him getting into the race tomorrow.
And gate 24 too is not going to help him all that much, you wouldn't think.
No.
All right, let's move on to another horse, number 10, Curata Storm. It's certainly got some ability, but it doesn't show it too often. John Hawke's the trainer, Greg Childs is the rider. But this was a much improved performance yesterday, Jen.
Oh, Peter, his form before that had been terrible, and I'm quite safe in saying that. Yesterday he did rail. He ran about fifth, I'm sure he ran 5th yesterday in the sub, and it was a pretty good effort. I still like to see more improvement than this going into a Melbourne Cup, though.
Yeah.
So, you know, at very best a rough place chance.
OK, what about the Sydney Cup winner, Simon? Mr Prudent, he is number 11 in the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup. He's got one thing going for him, George Hanlon trains him, and another thing going for him, Craig Williams rides him.
Yeah.
But his form lately has also been very, very ordinary.
Doesn't look that good, does it, Pete? But behind Freemason, 2 starts back at Caulfield, I didn't think his run was too bad. Now, last start in the Geelong Cup, there was no speed in the race. He had no luck whatsoever. He's drawn barrier 2. He's going to be right there again. And we know he can run the 3,200 metres, and George just might weave his magic again with him.
That run that you picked out at Caulfield was a very good run. A lot of people miss that run. I picked that up on the video after, and I thought, there's the Melbourne Cup winner. But after Geelong,
Yeah.
had to jump off.
All right, let's move on now to number 12, and that is Pastor Express. Paul Cave is the trainer here. Danny Nikolic had a very good day here at Flemington yesterday. Can you make a case for this, John?
No, I really can't, Peter. Danny Nikolic's having a good run at the moment, but geez, form's very ordinary at the moment, Pastor Express. I'll be very surprised if he wins.
All right, now let's go on to the Caulfield Cup winner. Here's the one that a lot of people are going to be backing simply because of the great story surrounding this horse. Here she is in the Caulfield Cup, Ethereal, and what a wonderful performance it was. It was a real gutsy win, Jen.
Yeah, she's had 2 narrow wins over the 2,400, Peter, and this being one of them. It was a perfect run in the Caulfield Cup. Everything seemed to go right for her there. Terrific ride, and I just can't knock her form. I wonder whether she can get the distance, but I'm not saying she can't, that's for sure. I think she's a chance.
Jen, I love her. I love Ethereal.
She's a good mare.
She relaxes and she's got that bit of brilliance, that turn of foot. And we look at Jezebel and Champagne when they came out of that Caulfield Cup that year. Well, she won the Caulfield Cup this year, and, you know, it was a bit of an afterthought, Pete, but I think it's because she did so well after the Caulfield Cup, and it is a pretty weak Melbourne Cup. She's going to be right on the speed. She's got the turn of foot, and Scotty Seamer and Sheila Laxton. It'd be great to see them in the winner's circle.
It would be a fantastic story. Sheila Laxton nearly killed in a race fall 10 years ago. She's a lovely lady. We're going to have a piece on Melbourne Cup Day about Scott and Sheila, and we wish them the best with Ethereal. Well, we're more than halfway through the field. When we come back, we'll continue our look at the 2001 Tooheys New Melbourne Cup. It's coming to you live from Flemington in this great carnival of racing. Hardest task on the racecourse at Flemington, not picking the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup winner, but keeping John Letts quiet as we're about to come back out of the commercial breaks. Hope you're enjoying our look at the great race coming up on Tuesday. And we're down to number 14, Hill of Grace, Simon, trained by Robert Prescott, and the facts and figures around this horse. Corey Brown, hopefully he'll be okay after that tumble in the mounting yard yesterday. And as I said earlier, I cannot believe she is a $34 chance.
Hail Mary Hill of Grace. I don't think she can win, Pete, but we hope she can run a place from there.
Hail Mary Hill of Grace.
Yeah, how's that?
Saying prayers already.
Yeah, how's that, Jen? That'll work all right, won't it?
Well, I don't know if that'll work all right, but I think she's a terrific
Got it running in the
horse.
double.
I think she's got a great chance on a run.
Might need to go to church to win here, but look, she'll be competitive. She's drawn barrier 20, Pete. That's her in the
golden red colours.
Golden red colours there in the McKinnon Stakes there yesterday, and I thought it was a great lead up from a McKinnon Stakes Melbourne Cup perspective. I mean, you know, she's only run the 2,400 metres. She didn't really stay last year behind Brew in the Melbourne Cup. That's the only worry with her, but she'll be competitive. She's got to come across from barrier 20 and do a little bit of work, though.
Still quite strong on the line there, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was, Jen. She was. I thought very weak McKinnon, though.
Yeah.
What about In a Flurry, John Letts? This horse has been around for a couple of seasons now at the top level. Of course, there's been a fair bit of controversy over her Caulfield Cup run. We're going to have a look at the Naturalism Stakes from Caulfield where she flashed home. She's a talented mare.
She is, but I just feel that the 3,200 metres, Pete, she's a mare that fires up in the run, and I think you'll find this might be a problem with her. And as you know, Simon, a lot of people blame Jimmy Cassidy for the ride on this horse in the Caulfield Cup, but you know yourself, Cox Plates, Caulfield Cups, Melbourne Cups, the roar of the crowd sometimes does upset horses, and I think this is one of those horses that really fires her up when the crowd give the roar after they start.
Exactly right, Johnny. She's very temperamental, and she's got a big head, bull head on her, and she likes to run over whoever's in front of her. And Jen, she can get stirred up by the crowd.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
Yeah. She's that type of horse, so she hasn't had the best probably program or preparation going into the Melbourne Cup.
I can't see her in it, Pete. I can't. Can you, Simon?
Well, hang on. What was wrong with the fourth in the Caulfield Cup? What was wrong with the second in the McKinnon Stakes? Two vital lead-up races.
I just thought she raced back.
Everything right.
Just thought she raced back to front and had a bit of a gut buster in the Caulfield Cup, Pete. That's all.
And can she settle from that barrier?
Oh, you're jumping off too. You're ganging up on me. Okay.
Have you tipped at the win, have you?
No, I haven't. But I think...
Oh, you're trying to convince yourself.
No, I've got her in the placings.
I'll do it. There's something with him.
We'll come to that later on. Now, Tulloch didn't win a Melbourne Cup, but he might win one tomorrow. Peter Tulloch, the trainer of Big Pat, who is now the Melbourne Cup favourite. And speaking of horses that have been doing everything right in the preparation, this bloke has.
He has, Peter. He's a horse that gets back in his races and runs on, and his most recent form has been quite good. Whether he's got the class to win a Melbourne Cup, I'm not sure.
We continue to look at the Caulfield Cup over and over again, but that's the best way to look individually at each horse, Jen, isn't it?
Sure, Peter,
that's the way you do it when you're doing the form.
Oh, you've got to go through every horse, so you're watching it so many times. Yeah, you'll see Big Pat there. He's the grey with those blue and black colours on, and he's making ground towards the end, as you'd expect. Look, I would give him a place chance, Peter. I don't think he's a winning chance.
I think he's a dead set stayer, and I don't think the 2 miles will worry him. Whether he'll be there at the finish, we'll find out on Tuesday afternoon. Let's move down to the Denham horse, number 17, and that is Reenact. And Larry Cassidy takes the ride for Jack Denham, already a Melbourne Cup winning trainer, Simon.
Yeah, no doubt, Pete. I think this horse is going to struggle from the wide gate, barrier 17. Got a nice light weight at 51, but at the end of the day, I don't think this horse will stay the trip. And his form suggests so, and he needs speed on in his races to relax. So.
This next horse we're talking about, I reckon has got a really good each-way chance in the race, and that's Karazi. David Hall didn't think he'd get into the race yesterday. Glenn Boss is going to ride him. He's in form. Karazi, I think, has been placed twice at 3,200 metres, John.
He has, Pete, and I know David Hall yesterday was very keen to get into the race, and then when there was another horse dropped out, he said, oh, I'm in. And, you know, the trainer was so relieved to get the horse into the race. Discretion.
Discretion, Johnny Letts, yeah, that's right. And I think it was a better move too.
It was a borderline case, and when he said you're in the race, well, David was very happy. But I did give this horse a chance in the race.
He fought on well in the Geelong Cup. He got tackled by Maroney's horse.
And the form's there. May the horse be with you.
May the horse be with you, yeah.
Well, that's the horse we're going to talk about now, and we're going to have a look at his win in the Saab Quality shortly. But Michael Maroney, well, as I said to him yesterday, I kept a date with him after the Saab Quality last year, and we know what happened on the Tuesday. And, of course, he did the same thing yesterday with May the Horse Be With You, who had just a lovely drag along in the race, Jen.
He did, but this horse has done everything right. It's hard to bag his form. He was up there near the pace, and he goes quite well to the line here. Look, he's got to be there with some lightweight chance. He's only got 50 kilos there. He does drop 4 kilos from yesterday's run, and if he hasn't taken any harm from this, he's a chance.
Is there any worry, John Letts, you were out there, I've already asked you about the state of the track, is there any worry that he may take some harm from being out there on what was a fairly hard track?
No, I don't think so, Peter. I was very impressed with the way that horse pulled up yesterday. May the horse be with you. And I'm a bit like Jenny. He'll take the same spot tomorrow in that race because he gets into a good position. Yeah. He's going to be one of the horses through the race. You're going to say, I'd like to be on the horse be with you because he's had the box seat. He's going to have a nice clear passage, and any luck in the straight, if he finishes like that, I can see Brew in that horse from last year.
He's a perfect example from a Zabille too. He's tough. The more racing he's had, Pete, the better he's got. And the Zabilles love a dry track, so he's really going to thrive on this.
So maybe Michael Maroney can do it again on Tuesday in the Tui's new Melbourne Cup. When we come back, we'll be talking to the trainer of one of the great lightweight chances in the Melbourne Cup. Here are just some of the hats on display at Flemington over the 4 days of this fabulous